The volume on the Rob Ford story is about to go way up. It's been relatively quiet because Toronto's mayor has been on a leave of absence since late April. Well, he returns to City Hall Monday afternoon. And lots of outstanding questions about what sent him into rehab in the first place and what his return means for the Toronto election campaign.
Well, joining us now is Globe columnist Marcus G. Welcome, Marcus. If Rob Ford can show that he is healthy, that he has addressed, some of the problems that sent him into rehab, that could really resonate with voters, couldn't it?
He's certainly hoping so. He's going to come back and try to prove that he's back in the game, that he's fit and he's clean and sober. Apparently, he's lost a lot of weight and so on. So the narrative he'll be putting forward is that all this is in the past, all these troubles, and I'm ready to run for office again.
And how could that change the dynamic of the election campaign?
Well, I think the other candidates will start focusing on him. They were focusing very much so, John Tory and Olivia Chow in particular, on each other, battering away at each other. Now, even now, in the hours before his appearance, they're going after Rob Ford, and particularly for Mr. Tory, who sees a potential conflict on the right hand of the spectrum. This is important.
So, between John Tory and Olivia Chow, who will be happiest to see Rob Ford back on the election campaign?
Well, I think Olivia Chow, definitely, because there's actually a different position between the two of them on the issue of Rob Ford resigning. Tory said he should resign right away. Olivia Chow says it's up to the voters and we should wait till Election Day. It's to her advantage for him to stay in the race because it potentially splits the right side of the spectrum.
What is Mayor Rob Ford planning on doing at City Hall?
Well, actually, his powers are very much diminished. Remember, City Council took away most of his powers way back in November, and he's been on rehab and gave up the remainder of his powers for those two months. So he's only getting back that small proportion of his powers that he retained. The other thing is there's only 4 months left until the election. Very little actual city business is being done in this time. So he's really just back to campaign.
What do you think is the single most important question that he should address?
Well, I think there's a question of his associations. Even if you say that this was only personal failing of his and he has addiction problems, we should sympathize with that. There's a whole issue of his associating with these criminal elements. There's a whole issue as well of his homophobic and sexist and racist comments, which not everybody, when they're impaired, says that sort of thing. So he has to explain himself about that as well, I think.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much, Marcus.